Hi, my name's Michael Bird. I'm the guy in the canoe in this video. If you pan around to the left, you'll see me floating there. And it's a 3D video, so you can look wherever you want. And I'll be your David Attenborough for the next 9 minutes. We're just going to talk about what's going on here. So we're just dropping a sediment corer into Girrawheen Lagoon, just outside of Darwin in the Northern Territory. It's actually where the crocodile attack scene was filmed in Crocodile Dundee 1. Now, why would we want the sediment out of this lake? Well, we know there's 20 metres of sediment, so that's a 3 or 4 storey building's worth of sediment in the bottom of this lake. And that's about 150,000 years worth of environmental record. So it's one big tape recorder. So we lower our sediment corer down. You can see I've sped this up because it's quite a big job and takes quite a while. And then we bang out a meter's worth of sediment, pull it back up and do it again. Go into the same hole and take the next meter. Why do we want to do that? Because the sediments are a big tape recorder, if you like, and they record what's been going on at this site for the last 150,000 years. That's covering the last ice age, where we already know that there were virtually no trees here, even though there's lots of trees there now. It was very much drier and the coastline was 300 kilometres away. And in the sediments we find pollen, so we can say what the vegetation is. It's got charcoal, so we can see how many fires there have been in the past. And the chemistry of the lake sediments tell us a lot about the environments at the time. So we've lowered all these extension rods down, and we're just about to start up the jackhammer. So that the yellow thing there is the jackhammer on the hydraulic mast, and that's how we take each metre of sediment. It's going to get a little bit noisy. You can see everybody there's got headphones on, so I probably won't be able to talk too much for the next bit. They're going to start it up, bang in, and then they're going to pull it up again.
And then the baby after that?
Yeah.
Okay, so the hammering in has made the extension rods pretty hot. You've got to be a little bit careful at this point. We're lifting the jackhammer off. Now the raft we built, this is the 7th version because we broke all the previous ones. It takes quite a hammering. It comes apart and sits on the back of a 4-wheel drive trailer or off-road trailer, and so we can take it anywhere that we can get a 4-wheel drive vehicle. And on the site we assemble it, put it all together, float it out, and if you pan around you'll see there's 4 ropes off each corner, and they're anchored to the bottom on start pickets, and that keeps us in the same place so we can get back into the same hole. Now there's a lot of pulling up again, so I'm going to speed it up. Oh look, there I am, back again. You can see there's a bit of a problem there, so Chris has got into the well in the centre to fix that. And then we just wind it back up, There's about 100 kilos worth of steel down that hole. So we have to use the mast to pull it up initially until it gets light enough that we can winch it back up. So once it's up, we freeze it, take it back to the laboratory and cut it up so we can start to look at the pollen, do the radiocarbon dating, look at the charcoal, look at the chemistry, and figure out what's been going on at this location for the last 150 odd thousand years. We drag the raft back in at the end of this, we pull up the star pickets, pull it apart, put it back on the trailer, and off we go. It took 5 days to take the 20 metres out of this lake, and it'll take probably a year or two to do the analyses on the sediments. 20 metres of sediment is a lot of samples. And at the end of that, we'll have a much better idea about the environmental history of this region, and with other records from around Australia, the environmental history of Australia. So we'll be able to see what happened when the megafauna went extinct. What was the last ice age like? How is the last interglacial different from our present interglacial? And that's the sediment core.
Okay,
so that's about a wrap.
This one? 17 to 18, right?
This one is 16 to 17.
16
The
to
next
17.
one will be 17.
Show it to the camera.
17 to 18, and then maybe
Here, Nick.
a bit more,
Here's the
right?
presenter.
17
And
to
that's the
18
sediment.
meters. All right, on to the next one.
And in Mick's other hand, you can see he's got the actual sediment core of that
Do you really
clear
need
plastic
that
tube was in.
tie down on that side?
Probably get away with that. We could try it with it.
Just leave it. Just go.
Free's probably alright.
Yeah, no, but don't tie to this. Then you might come out of.
Nick, put it back on.
Give it a go.
Put it back on.
For the glory.
Okay, everybody smile.
Glory.
All right, professional. Professional guy, do it even faster.
That was full speed.
Show the core heads and all that crap.
No, it's already been there.
Look up.
Just checking.
Okay.
You put a catcher in, right?
Yeah, and a tuba.
Oh, look at him now. He's questioning what.
Yeah, now it's suddenly all critical. Yeah, faster.
No, don't go
You
fast.
can really
Take
see
your
what's
time.
the driving
Safety is
factor.
everything.
Oh, yeah.
Safety is
I was brushing this thing all morning so we wouldn't have a repetition of what happened yesterday. Very safety conscious.
I'm so thirsty. I feel.
It feels a bit dizzy. It feels dizzy.
Have some water.
But he's
Slave driving.
he's slave driving us for the camera.
Oh, I need food.
He's working for 5 days.
You'll get some food when you're done. Shut up and work.
Weeks straight. Yeah, you saw the thing on Facebook, right? Do you
Well, is
fucking
it
job?
going in the pipey?
Yeah,
Yeah,
maybe.
well, lucky.
Stand by. Stand by.